What's good, y'all? I've got some super nice buffs for my boy Tauros. Before I get into them, I do want to have a quick little disclaimer for any new viewers to check out the Google Sheet linked in the description below. If you look on screen right now, you can check out this search all moves here, move guide sheet, and you can check out all of the massive move buffs and changes. I'm not like over exaggerating it. I've literally buffed and changed like 600 plus moves in this game. They are all really important to understand how the Pokemon are going to function now. There's 130 plus custom new moves, as well as just the fact that every other move is like mostly changed. So yeah, give those a look. They're organized into all these different categories. You know, you can click these, navigate to other sections, all that fun stuff. That being said, though, Tauros no longer has Intimidate because a big goal of this ROM hack is to make all of the Pokemon stand out from one another. And with that, that means that I try to limit Pokemon with the same exact type combination who have the same sets of abilities. Another thing I strive to do in this ROM hack is give every single Pokemon not one, but two relatively equal viable abilities. So this is all balanced for in-game use, right? It's not competitive where you have to pick a specific moveset and ability and run with it. You are dynamic. You can change your movesets, your EV spreads, your abilities for every single boss fight. Even if you're playing a team-locked Nuzlocke, which is somewhat what the hack is balanced around, you can easily just slap those on with the infinite ability capsules and change between Reckless and Stamina. The reason Tauros doesn't have Intimidate is because there are two other pure normal types that have Intimidate as one of their two abilities to pick from. Ursaring has Intimidate and Tough Claws, which obviously fits him much better, and also, sadly, his stat distribution just kind of needs Intimidate because he is like not that fast and not that bulky. Obviously, he's bulky, but like without Intimidate, he's not super bulky. While Kangaskhan is the other, who Intimidate also just really fits better, and also has a similar issue to Ursaring, where like stat distribution wise, nothing, it doesn't make sense to be super fast or like absurdly bulky, so Intimidate helps with that. However, Tauros makes sense to be fast. It's a bull, so that's why they lost Intimidate. They do have a defensive ability and Stamina, however. They're the only pure normal type with Stamina, and that's a really sick ability for them. They are a ride Pokemon. I think it fits very, very well. There are other Pokemon with Stamina in this hack as well. Tauros and all the other Stamina Pokemon have reliable recovery. Tauros having Slack Off in this case. That's super nice with Stamina. You do have to keep in mind, however, there are several dozen moves that will always crit when they attack you. So especially later in the game, Stamina is going to be a little bit harder to sweep. I mean, it's in general, you won't be able to sweep, but like you can't cheese the AI as easily as you might think with Stamina because of the fact that even a widely distributed move like First Impression will crit right through your defense boosts, as well as like literally dozens of other moves. And you can check out a full list of those in the description below on that move sheet that I was talking about. Also, if you like this style of buff and change, please make sure you subscribe to the channel and bookmark the Google Sheets and check back. You can also feel free to join my Discord server if that interests you as well. But yeah, that's Stamina for you. It's a very simple ability. You can switch in on any attack, especially special attacks. Even like you can still get that Stamina boost. You don't have any resistances as a pure normal type, so it's a little bit harder to get that. But your natural bulk is pretty good. I do try to base HP more on size now, and Tauros is a pretty big bull, so 90 base HP is pretty reasonable in the context of all the other Pokemon. He still has that good base defense stat and solid Spadef, so he's a tanky guy. So yeah, Stamina plus Slack Off, very good. Also just Stamina in general, solid. You can always use Resto Chesto if you deleted Slack Off for whatever reason because you don't have access to a move relaner, which is part of the challenge of the ROM hack. It would be a little bit, not easy, but it would be a lot easier for experienced players if you could just change your moves from your level ups at all times. You do have infinite TMs and tutor moves though, of which you have plenty. But yeah, Reckless is also pretty massively buffed because of all of the new recoil moves, as well as the fact that there are there's new recoil moves and then also Shell Bell, right? Shell Bell is buffed to heal you by 20% HP. So with Double Edge, you're only taking 5% recoil with a Shell Bell equipped, as well as Brutal Swing, which is a dark type version of Double Edge, 125 base power, 25% recoil. And then you also get access to Rock Climb, Takedown, Play Rough, and Wild Charge via TM. Those four being especially useful because they're interchangeable. As a TM, you can change between Rock Climb, Takedown, Play Rough, or Wild Charge for coverage, all of which are, good coverage moves for Tauros to run for certain boss fights to hit specific Pokemon, and those will deal 0% recoil damage with a Shell Bell. So that's all really great with Reckless, and then you also get later on in the game, you get access to Headlong Rush, Head Smash, and Submission, all of which are 150 base power. However, those will still drop your defensive stats by 1, and those will still deal 10% recoil with a Shell Bell and 30% otherwise. So they are still pretty damn risky. You know, you're still going to be after like 1 Head Smash, like a first impression will probably force you out because you'll be like your defenses will be dropped and you'll have taken a little bit of recoil. So you know you got to be careful with those moves, but they are very, very strong. It's very good for hit and run type stuff. Headlong Rush especially is useful. Head Smash and Submission are cool and all, but you already have Rock Climb and Takedown, so it's kind of like overkill. But yeah, well, Headlong Rush especially is very good on Tauros. And then Double Edge, powerful stab move with Reckless. The 125 base power ones become 150 base power. The 110 base power ones become 130. Holy crap. 132 base power, and then the 150 base power ones become 180 base power. So that's Reckless. It's very simple, obviously very fitting. I don't even need to explain for half a second why Reckless fits Tauros. Also Sheer Force. Oh my god, I didn't even mention why they lost Sheer Force. Sheer Force, first of all, it's a lot more boring on Tauros anyways, in my opinion. With the attack boost, it doesn't need Sheer Force anymore. Reckless, 20% boost. With the higher base power moves, it's actually stronger than vanilla Tauros with Sheer Force. Obviously, like 124 base attack with Sheer Force would be stronger, just by nature of, you know, the Sheer Force boost, but I think it's a lot more boring. Not to mention there are other pure normal types who take up the ability slot for Sheer Force. I'm actually blanking on the normal type that has Sheer Force, but I know there's one. 100% there's one. I gotta find it now. I'm curious. Hold on. I have a list. Come on, normal. There's one with Sheer Force 100%. No way there isn't, right? Look at that. Actually might not be. Yeah, Ursaring has Tough Claws, that's why. Yeah, maybe there isn't one, so maybe it's not an overlap. I guess I just like Reckless more. I don't know. I don't have an excuse anymore. I just like Reckless more. I think it's cooler. I think it fits more. Huh, that's surprising. I guess I had a Sheer Force one planned, but I ended up changing it. That's why. Okay, well, regardless, I like Reckless more. It's more fitting. It's cooler. It also boosts. For example, Headlong Rush isn't Sheer Force boosted, so it's not like it's totally worse than Sheer Force. Also, it's a lot more equal to Stamina. For example, while Sheer Force would be like a little bit harder to justify, but Reckless is cool. I like it a lot. You also have, you know, regular old stab options like Skull Bash. Skull Bash is awesome, by the way. Skull Bash with stamina is sick. So Skull Bash with Power Herb will give you +1 defense, +1 attack, and +1 accuracy. The accuracy is not super useful. It's only good for like Megaton Kick and Stone Edge in this case, and the Gunk Shot and stuff. But oh, Flare Blitz too. I totally forgot about Flare Blitz. Yeah, that's the same as Brutal Swing on Double Edge. So that's 150 base power with Reckless as well. Fits very well as he's like this Raging Bull type guy. It's a little bit weird, but I think it's fine. He also gets Blaze Kick via TM, and that's for other fire coverage moves. TMs like Bulk Up with Stamina is very nice with Slack Off. And then, as I was saying, Skull Bash is sick. So Skull Bash with Stamina, you don't even have to use Power Herb, actually. You can just use raw Skull Bash, get up, you can rack up those Stamina boosts. However, you do have to keep in mind the limitation of all the 100% crit rate moves, which are, like I said, very, very common in this hack. Yeah, otherwise he still has good utility. You know, he's got Parting Shot, no more Intimidate, but Parting Shot's still nice to have. Scary Face drops attack and speed now. Battle Cry drops attack and special attack by 2. You know, Power Trip works great with stamina, especially like Woke Up, Skull Bash, or whatever. Power Trip, that's super strong. Rage. Oh, Rage plus Stamina is sick. I don't know why it took me so long to cover that. Yeah, Rage plus Stamina is awesome. Rage is 80 base power and still functions like it used to, so you'll still get that +1 attack boost each time you click it. It is 15 base power weaker than Retaliate, which, you know, with Stab that adds up. You also have other good normal type options. So besides Double Edge, you also have Body Slam, 90 base power, Retaliate 95 base power, Giga Impact 160 base power, and it drops your attack stat by -2. So 2 Giga Impacts in a row is actually stronger than 2 Retaliates in a row. I believe 2 strengths in a row is stronger, but it also lowers your defenses while Giga Impact does not. And that first Giga Impact is much stronger than the first, you know, strength. So you can one-shot something you otherwise wouldn't one-shot with Giga Impact. So Giga Impact is a great TM to teach for certain boss fights, to kill things, to blow things up. That's great for any normal type or, you know, Galvanize Air Light type Pokemon. And even on regular mons in general, it's still a strong move. So yeah, I'm gonna try to leave the video off there. There's a couple other things I could cover, but yeah, Rage, that's super huge. With Stamina, Slack Off, Battle Cry, great utility, Reckless, Unga Bunga, great speed stat, good bulk, good attack stat, great attack stat. Yeah, very solid, pure normal type, great abilities, super fun Pokemon. Pretty simple buffs overall for Tauros. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. And most importantly, if you did listen this far into the video, first of all, shout out to you. Second of all, if you're a new viewer, check out that Google Sheet. I really can't understate how important it is. Peace.